Astro on the PS5 is a 3D platformer game by Team Asobi and was originally started as a tech demo, now a full-fledged game in its latest installment. But I don't have a PS5, so I'll just play robots instead on the PS2. I have no idea why I have this game in the first place. I do remember having fond memories of it, but that's because I was just using a complete save file and using the level select screen. And that's pretty much it. Like, I played this game first and then I watched the movie on DVD as a kid. I guess I liked the movie. Not sure if I like it now, but I was confused why things that happened in the game never happened in the movie. And kid me is stupid. For those of you who don't know what Robots is, it's basically this 2005 movie starring Obi-Wan Kenobi as this Ultraman-looking robot going to a big city, which was animated by the late Blue Sky Studios, or as I'd like to call them, Prototype Illumination. But I'm only saying that just because Chris Meledandri used to work with them.
Chris Meledandri-san.
Chris Meledandri-san.
Like
and this is their second movie released 4 years after Ice Age. Took them long enough. But before playing, I had to check online to see if anyone remembers or plays this game, and with only a small number of comments, the game was called a Ratchet & Clank clone. I have never played Ratchet & Clank, so if I end up enjoying this game, I am so sorry Ratchet & Clank fans for my bad opinion. But listen, my final score is based on my personal experience, okay? I'm not trying to recommend this game. Well, maybe I do. But that's just how I felt playing it, okay? So here it is guys, Robots PS2. The menu is simple. It's basic, featuring some characters in the background. There is some bonus stuff you can find, and judging by the materials, there seems to be an ad with Robots books, which does seem like the series is going to have plans to be a huge franchise like Star Wars, Toy Story, Shrek, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, and... I'm not wrong, because I actually learned that there was going to be plans to expand the franchise by making a sequel. But sadly, Blue Sky was more interested in the Ice Age series. So, all plans for new robot stuff have pretty much been cancelled. Damn, that's kinda sad. You learn something new every day. So, starting a new game, the game uses FMV cutscenes and clips from the movies to tell the story, but since it features narration from Rodney's dad, it's pretty much telling you, the player, to go watch the movie. Damn, I almost forgot how cool these character designs are. Loving the virtual future look of the world too. Gameplay starts, and for a PS2 game, the graphics are surprisingly solid for a movie tie-in game. Animations are good, even the voice acting too. But the frame rate on the other hand, kinda sucks. This is probably an emulator issue, but the 30 FPS movement kinda makes this game feel unsatisfying. So you start the game playing as Kid Rodney, which is pretty cool that you get to play in your childhood Matoran days in the earlier levels. So Dad here tells you to find some blueprints to build your little drone bot, and is it bad that I find them look like candy? I wonder if they taste good. And only 3 minutes into the game after the tutorial, I'm already an adult. So what's the point of me being a kid when I'm gonna grow up into an adult anyway? Was there gonna be some mechanic where you can switch to child mode and adult mode? Because I don't know about you guys, but the adult mode body kinda makes me feel slower compared to child mode. Heck, child mode is immune to slippery oil compared to adult mode. It kinda makes me wonder if there's some kind of Shazam mechanic where switching ages. Like Ocarina of Time without the time travel thingamajig. My guy, you saw me get dressed to become a man. Now, Robots isn't an open world game, but the levels themselves do seem to be non-linear, so it's cool that the game encourages exploration. Or at least that's what I was thinking at first glance. Because once you explore most of the maps, there's really not much to find anything. There's also this optional and only side quest where this old bot gives you a Wonderbot chip, but once you complete, you can't replay the side quest again when you play the level. Right after reaching puberty, for some reason your dad decides to give you full access to Second Amendment rights and commit property damage and abuse animal rights.
Now Rodney, you need to be able to look after yourself in the city. I'm going to show you how to use a scrap launcher. Excellent work, son. Mr. Gunk will probably deduct from my paycheck for all those, but if you learned from it, then it's worth it.
And just when you thought that's weird enough, he even straight up tells you to commit daylight robbery within the town hall. Is this guy trying to turn me into a war criminal?
Inside the town hall, you'll find enough gold scrap laying around to buy a ticket. Well, in you go, and watch out for those security bots. They don't like people snooping around for lost scrap.
This is illegal, you know.
Seriously, just what's up with movie tie-in lore that doesn't make sense of in the main story? Remember when Rodney was trained to use a Mega Man arm cannon? Yeah, I remember that. And if you ask me, the combat in this game in my opinion is a bit flawed. There's no targeting or auto-aim system to focus on an enemy. Well, actually there is, but it's just a first-person camera mode with no lock-on system. Same goes for melee combat, because I wish there was a dedicated targeting system, but it's just not there. Are there any merits though? Well, I do like how the game encourages you to use ammo wisely, since your ammo is also money, but that's pretty much it. Some areas have shop terminals, and I gotta say, whoever made this soundtrack definitely deserves a raise. The first level might not have much stuff, but later levels provide walled upgrades, bombs, and custom ammo, but you can only buy one unless you want to replace it. The only problem here is that custom ammo is so expensive that buying the wrong choice will equal to poor preparation planning. And even though if you do buy them, they feel so useless I can't even find a single difference with them. If there's one confusing creative choice in this game, has got to be Rodney himself. This guy is supposed to be the main character of the movie, but he rarely talks in the game. Did the devs somehow got inspired by the PS1 Harry Potter game?
Note to self, avoid bad bots.
Oh, he does talk.
You are a heap of scrap.
Finally, some robots swearing. Now I definitely feel represented. And yes, if anyone asks, I will do a review on that game if I get 20k or 200k subs, just because I need that attention to point something out that nobody's talking about. So can we turn my 200 subscriber count channel to a 200k sub channel? Thanks. Is the subscriber button glowing? But really, it's so weird how Rodney barely talks in the earlier levels, and what's even weirder is that they even had Kid Rodney's voice actor to record some battle dialogue, and even recording some behind the scenes footage of him.
Uh-huh. That's right. You're going down.
Forget about Robot's director's cut. We need a Robot's Kid Rodney cut. Oh, this poor kid. I feel so sorry for the child actor that we never got to hear him use these lines.
I think this is gonna be, like, better than my sister's game. This is gonna destroy her game.
I know he's growing up, but if I ever see him walking in the streets, I'm gonna give him a hug.
Who's gonna tell him that the actor who played Kid Rodney is dead?
His actor's dead? So Rodney leaves his parents and escapes town after committing daylight robbery, and now he's become a wanted criminal when you've got him being hunted down by cops with riot shields and him murdering innocent workers going on their day-to-day lives.
My dad taught me that.
Just what did they do to deserve this?
Tell your boss, Copper Bottom is in.
Back up in your ass with the resurrection.
So the second level takes place in the city station, and while some of the indoor sections are a bit meh and maybe a bit boring at certain parts, the outdoor areas shine bright the most. It almost feels like I'm in Cloud City than Robot City. Okay, that taxi looks more like a dropship. Shouldn't these guys worry about safety? Ah well, there's probably some magnetic force sticking to their feet. So after collecting all the blueprints in this level, you unlock the ability to remote control Wonderbot, but it only works when you step on this pad. And finally, after 40 minutes or maybe an hour into the game, Rodney finally speaks for the first time in the game's story.
Oh, well, not really.
Where the hell was this Rodney before the game? Here I thought I had poor social skills. But no, Rodney only talks after committing murder or if he just feels like in the story. So meet one of the movie's characters. He tells you to find pieces for a gravity gun, magnet gun, and so you rent a pod. Now I remember playing this as a kid and I thought I was playing GTA with robots. Instead of cars, you ride a hamster ball. And I actually enjoyed playing this section as a kid. Hell, even the game dev seems to be proud of the vehicle sections. It does seem like they put a lot of heart and soul to it.
Now you can get in and actually control one of these. They've taken that whole mode of thinking and they've given the player the ability to kind of zip along through those curved roads, launch yourself off ramps, and it's making a great bit of gameplay.
But has the gameplay aged well? It's alright I guess, but even that sounds like I'm praising too much. Problem here is that there's so much pods in front that it almost feels like I'm playing a bullet hell game, and sometimes there will be pods that zoom past behind you without warning. Alternatively, you can use these tunnels for easy access, so there's that. So you come to Midtown and find some spare blueprints, do some side quests like destroying mailboxes, 2 involving retrieving packages, and 1 pod racing challenge.
Now this is pod racing.
Now I'm not a huge fan of racing games, so I'll try my best not to be biased. But while this idea works on paper at first, the player gets ruined when there's oil slick on the floor that ruins your pacing and lowers your HP. Listen, I get that they want to add extra obstacles, but what the hell's the point of it when I take damage but not the other drivers? I didn't even know I could take damage until I lost the finish line.
Ha! My Aunt Fanny drives fast.
Okay, I don't remember Amanda Bynes' character being a bitch. Go back to rehab, will ya? So we unlock the Magna Beam, which allows you to lift up enemies, pull magnet blocks, and pick up scraps from afar. Next up, we meet this annoying nuthead. Yeah, I may not remember the movie that much, but I still remember this dude being annoying to society. And for some reason, this guy's telling us that we can't meet Bigweld until we find 16 pieces of his toolkit? 16 pieces? A toolkit? Yeah, notice a pattern here. Almost every mission so far is just fetch quests, so find these quest pieces, find this blueprint piece, find this gold scrap, like the formula just gets old. Again, I never played Ratchet & Clank, but is that game also a fetch quest simulator? You know, at least Super Mario 64 had you need certain number of stars to open doors, and you can go back to those levels whenever you want. But here it's just pick up this, pick up that, so ride up this elevator and whoa, all of a sudden this game is in 60 FPS? So you unlock the Roboglide upgrade, get to your first boss, which I'm assuming is some corporal exec whack-a-mole game. It's a surprisingly decent boss, because not only will you have to deal with these guys, but sometimes they'll get security guards and guard dogs and bombs to get you. And back to the Roboglide upgrade, this thing might look like a useful tool at first, but if you hit a wall by accident, you'll just let go of Wonderbot and just fall down. And something I noticed until now is that sometimes you can't even grab on ledges after a double jump. So the first boss gets defeated, Rodney gets thrown to the junkyard off screen with no explanation, and narrator Dad here just says this is the first time we've met the Rusties? I'm sorry, but didn't we meet them in the third level of the game? If so, then who the hell are these guys? So mission 5 starts. Lug here tells us to find Fender's missing head because they couldn't afford to have the budget to hire the late Robin Williams. And another Jackhammer clone wants us to find weapon pieces. Seriously, what's up with this game? It's a obsession of this character design. And he's supposed to be some important supporting character? What's up with these clones of him appearing in almost every level? So anyway, after picking up all the blueprint pieces for the 5th time, you unlock the Electroshot Beam, which works on small enemies, but a bit useless on the big ones. Also easy to turn on light bulb switches, and that's pretty much it to it. Like, there's only like 2 of these in the game? Hope you remember what they do. And I'm not even kidding when I say they couldn't afford to get Robin Williams in the game, because most of the time, despite this guy is meant to be the generic main character best friend, he doesn't even do anything in the game. He just exists with zero reason, zero purpose other than one objective: pick up his head. And it's not until after completing the next mission, which is just a driving segment of pick up packages, he finally gets to talk, but he just has generic lines like every NPC character. So apparently they could have Aunt Fanny's voice actress to do some lines despite having 0 quests and 0 story importance, but they couldn't even have Fender to have some interesting lines.
She has this giant behind, like the biggest behind I've ever seen on an animated character. I mean, it's just massive butt. And I was so excited to play someone with this giant butt. When I was creating the character, I just kept thinking, what would a giant butt sound like if it could speak?
Actually, just who is this lady? I need to check her Wikipedia page. Let's see, what do we have here? American Pie? Emoji Movie? What else does she do? Minecraft movie? Minecraft movie? Steve? She's gonna play Alex? She's gonna play Alex, is she? Oh god, she is gonna play Alex, right? Or maybe the Villager Witch. Minecraft movie predictions aside, we get to the next level and I find it fascinating because most of the time, you're in your vehicle, and the only way for you to attack is by using your turbo boost. It's definitely a unique level, and I do like its atmosphere, and like how you need to be very careful crossing the roads that lack any safety bars, or whatever it's called. There's like 50 pieces you have to pick up, but I didn't have a problem with that. Off to the exit. Did the exit just kill me?!
Excellent work, 47. The money is being transferred now.
So the next level is a boss fight between this giant sewer meeting spot. This guy is kinda tricky because sometimes you don't know which cannon he's gonna use, and sometimes you'll always keep missing a shot since your slime cannon is so slow that he'll just run away. Plus, you also need to watch the floor because of the acid vial. So once you beat this guy, you unlock some stun grenades, and to be honest, this weapon kinda sucks, because it appears so late in the game that I barely even use it. And as a tool, it's only used once at the near end of the level. Hey, it's not my fault this game's combat is simple and easy. Also, what the hell is she doing here when she hasn't done anything important to the plot other than generic lines? Like, she only exists here as an object for Rodney. Like, there's just nothing interesting for her to do here.
Hi.
You can even find her as a generic NPC in the earlier levels. Same goes for this annoying dumbhead. Well, on the bright side, at least there's no more item collection based objectives this time, so now we're just here to find a passcode to find Bigweld. So we tell him that Ratchet, not that Ratchet, is turning his company to a mess, so we're off to another Vigo segment, this time on Bigweld. I actually do recall having fun on this level, but as of now, the level just feels meh. My favorite part replaying this level as a kid was probably these branching paths, but there's really not much to talk about other than finding a Wonderbot piece. The next level takes place in the final area, and what I find weird here is that Ratchet's mom appears in these loading screens, but we don't even get to fight her. And she's supposed to be the real main villain of the movie.
Who are these losers?
We, sir.
I'm a woman.
Oh, I'm so going to lose a lot of friends for laughing at that.
Holy mother of Jesus! She's a man!
Speaking of missing characters, was there supposed to be a vacuum cleaner robot in the family? Or that one robot that can't talk? Seriously, it's just Lug and maybe Amanda Bynes being the most important family members in this tie-in game. So we bribe some security guard to get into the third and final boss, and whoever designed this level deserves to go to hell. Not only the first person controls feel slippery, I hate how you not only have to focus on enemies trying to run to you, you have to focus on both the eyes and them. And at times it just feels like a colorblind test because you don't even know if one of them is getting near to you, because of their dark murky colors. And after that, you have to fight Ratchet, who throws bombs and moves like a ninja. Seriously, his hitbox is a joke, like where is it? So you beat Ratchet and win the game, and that's pretty much it really. Just win the game and get to credits after a cutscene. There's no replay value unless you want to find more Wonderbot tricks or buy some more bonus clips, like, that's it. That's Robot's a video game. It's not a broken platform, it's just a game that works. It's not the most impressive game in the slightest, but it's no chivalry game either. I feel like the problem with robots is that some of the game's features and mechanics feel underutilized. The boss fights are challenging, but the roster is too small. The city levels I enjoyed, especially in the subway station where you get to look at these shops that do nothing other than it's just interesting to look at them. But looking back on the vehicle map, I noticed that the area feels incomplete when you realize you're supposed to enter them with your pod instead of just complete the level and boom, you're in the next. I also feel like bonus content shouldn't be sold in stores, instead they should be secret items you can find by using the upgrades you unlock, so you can replay that level again to make use of the game's systems. The only problem is that if you actually go to the older levels, you don't even get to use those unlocked items, so replayability is kinda pointless. And it sucks because I really liked watching the behind the scenes of this tie-in game. Overall, Robots is just a mediocre game. I may enjoy it during my childhood, but today, not so much. And if I were to come back, I think I'll just... Actually, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll just play the city and town levels over and over again. That's pretty much it. That being said, I think I'll give Robots 2 Cinder Points. Yeah, it looks like this game is as good as I remember. Which is a huge shame because I actually felt excited coming back at first. But ultimately, this game either belongs to Scrap Pile or back to the workshop for a redesign. Something that I really thought was gold at first, but in the end, it's just a golden shower of piss. Yeah, this thing pretty much describes the game for me. Well, guess that's all for now. This is Cinderunit, logging off until next time. There is an unused multiplayer mode and I didn't even know that.